Hiya folks, and welcome back to Minecraft. So, that's one thing about having your single player series on a empty multiplayer server. The days keep rolling. I logged into a spider, literally on top of where I spawned in. Because I have 3 health, I was immediately murdered. Now I have to remember where exactly I got murdered. I think I got murdered along the shoreline. For some reason at the moment too many raves is not dropping your death list. I could just spawn it in, but I'm feeling lazy and I'm also feeling like I actually know where it is. So let's see if we can find it. I think it's over this way somewhere. I was just trying to get around that chasm. So yes, Spiderino murdered me. Somewhere over here. Can we see a head anywhere? That's probably the spider that murdered me. Head, where are you? I will save you all the troubles. In a moment. I just want to find it for myself. Gosh. Okay, well. It is /TGM. Wait, I always do this. It's TMG. Get death list Rorax latest. No? /TGM. I'm cooking at the moment as well. Help TGM. Okay. It's lowercase TMG get death list Rorax latest. Yay! Alright, where's my oh my god, it's right there. Well, you know what? Also, that's mystery meat. It's not much of a mystery, if you know what mystery meat refers to. As you can see, I'm burning up, but not really, because I am still in a safely warm area. Well, safely hot area. So we have this inventory full of stuff. And as I mentioned last episode, I suppose this episode is all about finding a home. Now that we've looted this village dry. And it may be a trip across the sea. Who knows? Do I still have a boat on me? Because that's going to be a problem. Because I don't have the inventory space for a boat. I could murder some horses and get some leather. I think I might do that. Because horses don't fight back. And I think horses still drop leather. Do you drop leather? Is this a... is this futile? No, you do. Okay. Great. Well, I shouldn't be running. I might have to jump into some water in a second. I don't think foals drop anything. Gav here, wooden pick. I have to get into some water and cool down. Okay. So, horses dead. I'm still burning up. But with the horses dead and me with 6 leather, we can actually free up a little bit of inventory space. Because now I can do this. Get an empty canteen. And I can throw these dirty water bottles out, actually. And instead I will make a boat. A boot. And we will go sailing across the seas to find our home. Wherever that may be. We want a relatively flat area. This is nice and flat, but unfortunately a village is right on it. So, But something like this would be good, ideally. So that's what we're looking for, and that's what I'm going to try and find. And sailing in the great open sea will hopefully cool us down a little bit. And there we go. So, we'll see you in a bit once I've found something interesting. Well, I haven't found a place to build, but I have found another village in a desert. This area is quite nice. The only problem with doing it here or building here is that it is so close to a desert, which is not kind of the aesthetic that I want, right? I don't want a desert as the backdrop to the necropolis. If anything, it'd probably be ideal would be a forest. But whether we get that or not is another question. Now that lava is quite dangerous where we are, because we have to be careful about our temperature. Yep, there it goes. We have to find some water or get out of the desert. The desert is quite hot. And I don't have a bucket to carry around a random pail of water with me, so I'm going to have a pumpkin pie so that we do not die from hypothermia. If you don't know the difference, hyper and hypo. Hypo means to be less than, and hyper means to be more than. Which is why there is hypothermia, less good temperature, and less good. That doesn't make sense when you say hyper. Too much, too little or too much. So hypo means too little heat, and hyper means too much heat. So I'm just going to pedal around at this pool for a bit, and I'll make intermediary, because we've got a immersive engineering thing. This is going to be awesome, and I'll show you why when we get to raid it. And it's to do with what the basic objects in these immersive engineering houses usually are. I'm going to try and get as much temperature down as possible and then have a sleep in one of their houses, because the sun is going down. And then we'll try and raid as much as possible, because believe it or not, we're going to have a lot more room than we have now. You'll see. Okay, it's day. And here I am in a guard tower. Now I need to get out of this guard tower because I can't actually do much yet. We'll be coming back to it. I had to break through the window. This village didn't form very well. And we're going to overheat again. Is there some water somewhere? Anywhere? I know there was a farm plot, and those have water. Where? Where? That's a creeper. Hello, creeper. Oh, this well will do just fine. Cool down. Cool down, me. And also don't die. There we go. Cooling down. So as you can see, early game, this is the problem with the desert base as well. Hello, Husk. You jerk. Out of here. I do not want your door. Oh, I'm still getting more heat. I have to act quickly. I am after these. These immersive engineering crates, because they can be filled with stuff and then broken, and they retain their contents. That's what we want. That's what I came here for. Now I would spend the time getting the wood, the treated wood from the house, but unfortunately I don't really think I have the health to spend on that. Okay, don't put, no, I'm trying to eat an apple. Not put down a chest. Is there anything up here? I cannot remember. No, okay, we need to get out of here and into some water. Not that water, because that's not enough. Eat another apple. The danger, of course, with eating apples at this point is that we've got spice of life, and we're going to have less and less effect on our food the more and more apples we eat. That's going to be a hard village to raid, and in fact I think I won't raid it any more than I already have. because I have mostly what I came for, these wooden storage crates, which have freed up a huge amount of space. That is a problem with tough as nails at the moment. For some reason, the damage ticks are damaging armor as well. So, take off your armor. Oh, and this is not interfering with my heat situation. A lot of people misunderstand. Normal armor doesn't actually increase your heat value at all. Only woolen armor and only gelled slime. Gelled slime lowers it, wool armor raises it. And it would be nice to get that configurability in 10, but who knows when or how that would happen. Okay, cooling down. Able to progress now without much trouble through a plains anyway. Ooh, there's a lava pit over there. Okay, I'm going to keep looking around for somewhere to live, and once I find it, I will come back to you. Hey, not far out from that village, and we've found another Roots house. Told you we would find them. It wasn't a big deal that we lost that stuff. I will take this book of herb lore and spellcraft. I don't need the other one. And I will take your flowers, because I can take your flowers. And in fact, do you have any more room in you? You do not. So that one can go here. This one can go here. And I will be taking everything. Put all that in there now that I'm not in a hurry to get to some water or something. Don't need your wooden hose, actually. You can keep them. I will take your saplings. Cool. Okay, moving right along. Okay, I think we found prime territory. We've got this huge flat valley behind us, nestled between a couple of mountains, and I think that would look pretty great. As well as this hill here, which I've kind of got this vision of the necropolis kind of being on the top of a hill and pouring down its sides. So you got the like biggest, most impressive mausoleum at the top, and the crypts coming down the side of the mausoleum. Ooh, it's getting dark. And I am not raiding a village, so I do not have the option. I should have taken one of the beds. Dang it. But if we can like get a hill that we can come down off. Snow's okay, I guess. But it's one of those things where it's like it kind of a little bit breaks the desired effect. But this kind of hill would be pretty great, huh? This one over here. We do have a village, which I can borrow a bed with. That's fantastic. Be nice to have a village nearby, actually. I think this hill right there is perfect. Actually, look at another immersive engineering house. How very useful. So I'm going to borrow your bed. And I think we can start calling this home. Now, I'm going to do something that I have not done before. And I'm going to, over my blabbering, probably, if I remember, put down some pictures of the kind of references that we'll be using. Because that's what I would like to do. I'm just gathering up their stuff in their crates. Arc furnace electrodes, man, that's useful. Not for a long, long time, but that is useful. It'll be quite far into the series before that actually rears its head again, I believe. This is pretty cool. I like this. Yeah, let's check out this blacksmith and then we'll head up to the hill. Because blacksmiths always have something nice in them, or they usually have something nice in them. Although loot tables can get a little messed up with blacksmiths. People like to put useless things in blacksmith loot tables for some reason. Like apples and saplings. But we'll come back to this village at some point, I'm sure. Let's head over to that hill. This hill is covered in generation. We've got 3 moon circles from roots, a barrows from roots, a small astral shrine, and barrows are very scary, by the way, at night. But we can abuse this barrow, believe it or not. And I am even more pleased to have found this place. That is, hoping that we do not get run out of home. Not only is there good loot in these places, but there is also a entity here that cannot be stopped. It's kind of like a spawner that spawns enemies at night to kick your butt. As you can see, they're full of amazing loot, which will get us started very quickly. As you can see, I want to point out that this is all about what this pack is about. Exploration has given me a massive head start in terms of everything here. We've got all our iron tools from exploring. We've got lots of gold and redstone and wood and resources, and it's all thanks to exploration. And that's exactly how I designed this pack. There's a reason to leave your house, or your base, or your necropolis, as it may be. But we're going to have to be careful with this, and what we do with it, because this will spawn monsters at night, and you can't stop it. So we kind of want to cover it up a little bit. What did I do with that thatch? Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. Okay. I'll put the thatch back. Kind of want to cover it a bit more than that. Tree, you're coming down. I know I already have wood in my inventory, but I'm probably going to remove this tree anyway, so down it comes. Where be hiding logs? Can't just be you. Or can it? Wow, it can. Okay. We have a forestry sugar maple, which is awesome. So I'm just gonna... Oh, do you see what just happened there? Oh dear. Forget that happened. I just tried to use the basic recipe for planks and it worked. Whoops. Okay, okay. Yes, there are still little bits of things that need to be polished out. Ooh, a couple of constellation papers. Visio and Decidia. And some more gold, a little bit of glowstone, and some iron. Very good, very good. And we'll make this shrine back intact. Shall we? Get out of here, cow. I need to put this back. Thank you. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So we have a place to call home. The top of this hill has some lovely vistas around it. That hill's pretty cool too. Also has a village below it. Man, there are villages everywhere around here. It is crazy. Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't, but it just so happens that it has happened for us. I didn't even notice that village until just now, but there it is. We need to get moving on making a bed. That's what we need to do. So I need to find sheeps. Or just raid one of these villages for their bed. Which I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh look, there's sheep and a village to raid for beds. So that's nice. Animania just came out on Twitter. This will date when this was filmed, but just came out on Twitter with some models for the sheep that they're going to replace these sheep with for Animania. They look very adorable. They did a merino ram, merino sheep, something which is farmed pretty heavily here in New Zealand, where I am based. Give to me your iron. In fact, give me this stuff as well. Believe it or not, armor that I'm not able to wear is very useful later on, and you will see why. Very good. Already running out of room again. Put you away and grab you. So that's 14, 18 armor, 18 ingots, and you'll see why. If you don't already know or are not familiar with the mods in this pack, but you will see why. I'm just going to drink your garden water, don't mind me. Came here for a bed, ended up getting a whole bunch of iron. And future iron. That's what I call armor that I'm not going to wear. Future iron. We have a red bed. It is invisible for some reason. Reasons unknown. But there you go. We have it. So you were just under another hill, this one. And I'm wondering whether this will be a better hill. Now the other hill is great, but it also has a whole lot of generation on top of it. Whereas this one seems a little more plain, which is less likely to affect how we do things in the future. So I think it's worth checking this out. And there's another one down there. We got choices galore. This is so great. Okay, well, look. I'm going to look around a bit more because obviously I have choices, and I'll be back. I've actually taken the liberty to stop for a moment because I'm going to make a thing, and this thing is how we read a map. It's called an atlas. Books can go back there. Book plus compass equals empty antique atlas. Hooray! So if we right click that, we now have an atlas. And we can now start mapping things. It starts centered on you, obviously, and it auto marks villages for you. And as you can see, I've got a mini map in the top right now. Isn't that handy? You can just stay there, actually. And if I don't want the mini map on, I simply kick something out of my inventory. Hang on. So much stuff. Here we go. Okay. Fine. Good. Wonderful. I put the atlas in my main inventory and the minimap goes away. It has to be in your bar. So that's cool. Anyway, I was just on my way to check out the last hill. I think I've already made my decision because this hill looks a little too lumpy for me. It is on a lower altitude, but it looks a little too lumpy. And it seems to be the second hill that I'll be going for, because that second hill is just really cool. It's got a lot of good backdrop around it. Nice and spoopy, or it will be nice and spoopy once I'm done with it. Yeah, definitely going for that second hill. So we can see, as I've been moving around, the map has been expanding. Ain't that rad? So, the other thing is it has a village at the bottom of it. I'm not sure what will end up happening to that village in the future. Depends on how much of the necropolis ends up expanding. But if it does expand quite a lot, we can always just destroy the village because we know of another one that's really close. And that will be nice and fun. Yes, I realize my heat is getting up there. It's because I'm sprinting. Sprinting does add to your heat, if I haven't mentioned it before. I really shouldn't be sprinting. I'm not in a particularly great position to be using resources like that, but such is my excitement to get into things. It's going to be so much fun. I promise. I promise it's going to be so much fun. We've still got quite a bit of the episode to go, so we can probably start on a little bit of something. Okay, here we are at the top of the hill. I'm actually going to take a break that you guys won't see to do some Google research on some fancy mausoleums and see if there's anything that I would like as kind of the top of the hill centerpiece that we will start working on. And somehow a random cow died. That's fine. Ooh, look, iron. Actually, before I go, I'm going to mine that iron. Iron veins are nice and huge in this pack, and the reason for that is there's no early game or doubling. You have to work your butt off a little bit to get to some more doubling, and that's quite fine, but such is things. So veins are bigger than normal. The veins being bigger than normal was actually complete accident. And I still, to this day, don't know why they are bigger than usual. The iron ore veins in particular. But me and the beta crew decided, hey, that's actually pretty useful considering, and we've kept it like that ever since. So that's pretty cool. We have 39 iron ore now, and we never went spelunking for it. Just got them out of boulders. Anywho, I'm going to go Google image search, and I'll be back. Okay. So, I did some Google image searching, and unfortunately most of my Google image searches brought up video games. Turns out there's a lot of things that are named crypt and mausoleum and graveyard and such and things, but I found a really awesome crypt, which I think, or mausoleum more specifically, which I think will look really cool on top of this hill, and I think we're going to try and build it for this series, and it's going to look like this. Magic of editing, go! So it's not a very good photo, but I couldn't find one of it larger. Maybe some internet sleuths could find out what that particular mausoleum is, because it looks like it's a well-known one. It's very fancy and very gothic, which is kind of like what people think about when they think of mausoleums and crypts and necropoli. So I think that's what we're gonna try and do, and I think that's gonna be really fun. I like using reference material when I want to do something that's super fancy. I've shown some reference material on the channel. Unfortunately, we didn't get to build that particular one, and it's since been lost to time. That particular project, but we tried to do the crucible building a long time ago on Forgecraft, and despite going to the trouble of saving it using a mod, I didn't actually manage to keep it, so unfortunately we do not have it. This is andesite looks really cool in this resource pack, which is unfortunate because andesite looks awful normally. And if we're going to do this whole resource pack thing like I've got planned and mentioned last episode, I'm not sure whether it's a safe material to use if we switch out to other packs at any point. But I'm taking down this big ass andesite boulder because I'm trying to clear as much space on top of this hill as we can so that we can get started. In terms of how we're going to go forward with progression and making sure that we have a place to live and doing all that stuff, we're probably going to dig into this hill and use the internals of the hill as our base rather than as our construction project. I'd like to keep some of this andesite though. I need to put down these. First things first, let's put down these dang crates. That's not what I meant to do. Thank you, grass. Thank you for getting in the way. Then we will make a crafting table. And we'll boop it right there. And then we will make normal chests because we can. Because we have so many. And nope. Nope, I'm not going to put them down there. And go pick up this stuff. And I'm going to dig into the earth. Right around where we'll stick the mausoleum on top. There will be other mausoleums obviously as part of this build, but I think for the purposes of the project as it goes, it's going to be that particular mausoleum that I showed before. That's the centerpiece on the top of the hill. And we'll see how that goes sizing wise and things. Because mausoleums often look like miniature cathedrals. And by miniature I really do mean miniature. You reckon that's deep enough? It's probably deep enough to get started, isn't it? I know you guys can't see anything because I can't see anything, but sorry. We will get some light in here in a sec. I just want to dig out some space so I can put some chests down. No, it should probably be a bit bigger first. Let me go make a torch or two. I'm sure we picked up some charcoal along the way. Well, no, don't fall back into the hole. Charcoal. 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 Great. Here, have a stack of andesite. Have another stack of andesite. Because I want torches. And you can go slate, sorry. We will probably use a lot of slate from earthworks. Because it's a nice dark stone. It's very brooding. I think what we'll do is we'll make it a little deeper in here. Too high spaces. Just unworkable for me. And that torch is going to come off the wall immediately again. You know what? Let's honor and do a 7x7 on the inside, shall we? And you'll know what that means it would be in reality. And by reality I mean on the surface. And that's chalk, and chalk's very useful. And we could use some of that later on. For lathe and plaster. Also from earthworks. Also very, very cool. 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. Alright, I'm going to dig the rest of this out. Okay, nice emptied out pit in the ground. I'm going to dig... actually... I'm going to dig that out. It'll be a space saver. Why am I digging down? I should be digging up. I did what I meant to do in reverse. And the reason I dug those two out is because, as you all probably know, vanilla logic is that you can't open a chest when it has 2 solid blocks above it. And I wanted to put chests in the wall. So, that's exactly what we now have. So we can have some normal dang chests. And I'm not necessarily organising things yet. I'm just trying to get things out of my inventory so I can organise. That is the name of that game. Put that stuff away. Put box. Put everything. Just put everything in there, Rosie. Okay. Now we can pick all this up and do the same. Sweet. And whoops. If we need to. That's Quark, by the way. You can have multiple hotbars, and it's based on these rows. And we can have multiple sets of chests across the wall, alternating trapped and normal, obviously. Oh look, the slate survived. Well done, Slate, you made it. You're one of us. Okay, red bed. You can go there. Great. And wooden storage crates should be out so that I can empty them. And I'm going to do some organizing. I'll see you in a bit. Okay. Organized, sort of. Might change some things around, but we've got stone and earth blocks, we've got wood and wood things, we've got ores, and you shouldn't be in there. We have dusts and refined metals, which I kind of count that as a dust. I guess precious things. Plants. Tools and armor. Mob drops. Misc. Food. And speaking of food, I need a food. I'm also going to need water, so we should sort that out too. So let's grab a 3 iron. Make us a... We also have this mod. Which I can't remember the name of for the life of me. It's awesome though. If I move around it, the crafting table recipe moves with me. It won't. It'll favor cardinal directions. So if I stand diagonal to it, whatever cardinal direction I'm closer to, it favors. So it's favored this one because I was closer. Anyway, bucket. Very cool. Let's go get some water. Oh, I think it's nighttime actually. Yes, it is. I heard a zombie grumble. And I can hear him burn. Burn, zombie, burn. Oh, that's creeper. We have quite a lot of... Why am I running? I know why I'm not running. I'm not running because I only have 3 water. 3 drops. I'm going to steal some of the town's water supply here. Dead zombie. Obviously on hard mode, this village is probably going to empty out pretty quick. Because I'm not actively protecting it. Don't worry, I'm not going to dehydrate. This is enough to get me up the hill and back down into the pit. Out here, zombie. Sheep, you might not want to get in the way. Hello, creeper. Hopefully that skeleton will leave me alone. It has. Good. We'll just make this the water corner. It's not an infinite supply, but it doesn't need to be infinite to fill your canteen, so that's great. Okay, so I actually think this is a really good place to leave the episode. I don't actually know how much I've done. It says here on my audio recording 1 hour and 6 minutes, but I know it's going to be much less than that because there was quite some gaps. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.